Hello, this is Nikki in Niagara coming to you from Niagara Falls, Canada. Welcome to vlog number 8. Today I'm logging in on Monday and it is approximately 5 o'clock in the evening, I guess you would say. So I've already had my protein shake for supper, and my husband has, I have to remember, Mr. Niagara has gone off to work for the evening. So I thought it would be a good time to sit down, just go over a few things that have happened, and possibly do some coloring. I've got my Chibi Girls book here to work in, and this is the picture that we'll do if we get time. As you can see, I'm almost finished her. We just got some finishing up to do, and hopefully that will be just the right amount of time that we have for her. She is my 5th picture done out of this book this month, and they were all buddy colors. Can you believe that? When I have buddy colors out of this book, it just really gets me motivated and moving towards finishing the book, and it is starting to look good. So I'm happy about that, but we'll move it out of the way because first, as you all know, as I'm recording this on Monday, the 13th. Usually I don't say the dates on here because I feel it dates. Of course, it's great for you listening to it this week in one sense, but then in another sense, if you are watching this in a year, it kind of dates what you're watching. So I am mentioning the date today because yesterday, the 12th of July, was my birthday. So we take things pretty easy around here on birthdays, and I got two little gifts, which were very, very nice ones from my immediate family. So my husband got me a 60 set of Ohuhu markers, and those are gladly appreciated because my current set of Ohuhus is missing all the good colors. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll take the markers out of here. Just a little peek. I don't want to open it all the way. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to keep the markers in here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to, the ones that I already have, I'm going to switch out so that I'm using the old ones, and then the ones that I'm missing will be in here. Of course, I have an 80 set, and this is a 60 set, so not all the colors that are in that set will be in this set, but the most popular colors are the ones I'm missing, and those are the ones that come in the smaller set. You always get the most popular colors, which are all those nice, bright, vivid colors that we like markers for. And my son, the one who lives at home, look what he got me. And this is very exciting because I have wanted these for quite some time, and they've just sat there on the wish list. So I was really excited about these. In case you can't read from there or can't tell what they are, these are the Goldfaber Pencils by Faber-Castell. And this is the full set. There's 48 in here. This is a student set, I believe. Well, I know. I know. It's their like mid-range. It's the red ones are the ones that are children's, and then this Goldfaber is their mid-range ones for students, and then of course we know that the really expensive ones are their adult ones, polychromos. So these are a regular sized pencil. It says that they have excellent light fastness. It says, soft, vibrant lay down, highly pigmented, water resistant and smudge proof, high break resistance due to a secure bonding process, and easy to sharpen with all normal pencil sharpeners. So far I've only used one because I don't like using pencils until I've swatched them out and put them in a pencil case. But I'm not going to wait till I have a pencil case for these, because look at this. They have strings. I mean, this is not an expensive set of pencils, and yet they have strings, so you can take these things out so easily. Put it there, and there's only the two layers, and turn it this way, and it doesn't take up much space, and you can work with them. So, you know what? I'm not even gonna set out to buy a case for it. I'm going to see how it works this way, both in using them and in storage, because I'm not too sure how well they'll work putting them with my other pencils. But so far I've used one. Maybe you can see that it's just a teeny bit smaller than the others, because I did sharpen it, and it sharpened really well with my Coom. We all know about my precious Coom. My precious Coom pencil sharpener, which I now have two of. I now have two of them. So yeah, I used it. It sharpened well, and I loved it. I loved coloring with it. It was vibrant, it was smooth, it was creamy, and everything you could want in a pencil crayon. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to swatching these and getting to know them. One thing is that they just have numbers on them, but I heard somebody say, I don't know who, but it wasn't that long ago, someone said that the numbers on the Goldfabers match the colors of the polychromos. So I'm not sure about that. I'm going to have to do a Google search and find out where the names are for these. So, because I want to give them names if they do have them. I don't have the polychromos, but if I ever do someday, then that would these would work with that set, no problem. So the other thing that I wanted to show you is what arrived today. I still have one book that they say is going to arrive today, but it's not going to, because it's already after supper, and it hasn't even shipped out yet. So I will be surprised if it comes. Still got 3 hours, according to Amazon, to get here, but I doubt it. So I did get this little package right here. So this is the bonus sneak peek that you get for watching my vlogs. And I'm just going to open this up, and then I'm going to put the box over here, make it easier to pull things out with. Now I'm just going to take 1 second, and I have to go get my pop because my throat is dry. Oh, so I'm just going to take a sip of my Coke Zero. So, first thing I have to tell you is that this month is the pencil month for me, because I got another set of pencils. I got my Spirer Farbens I bought myself for my birthday, and I got the Goldfabers from my son for my birthday, and then I bought these, well, basically the day before yesterday. They were like, I don't know if they were the lightning deal or whatever, but I got an email. I got an email from Amazon telling me these were 40% off. So I went and had a look, and they were only $19.99 Canadian, and so they're usually in the high $30, or whatever 40% off is. So yeah, I couldn't not get these because these are the pencil crayons that Canadian kids use, is the Scholars, the Prismacolor Scholars. I don't know, the Crayolas seem like they're a big thing in the States, but I never used them when I was a kid. They didn't exist then. And when my kids were kids, my 30-year-old, when he was a kid, the Laurentians didn't exist anymore. So, well, actually, they might have. I think Laurentian was still around, but I remember buying markers, Laurentian markers. I don't remember buying any pencil crayons, but I bought him a set of these for him to use with his homeschooling. And then when my now 20-year-old was a kid, he got a set of these too for homeschooling and eventually when he went to school. So my kids grew up with these. These were also around when I was a kid, and even though I remember having a beloved relationship with my Laurentians, I more than likely had these as well. So I wanted to get these, and I also wanted to compare them to the Crayolas. Like, I don't know, I'm sure somebody's done that online, so I'm not sure if that's something that I will. How do we open this? Oh, is this really going to be that easy? Oh my goodness. It looks like it. It looks like they've taken a hint from Japanese packaging. Wow, look at that. If all of these plastic case things opened this easily, wow. That would be something else, wouldn't it? But you see, this case is supposed to turn into a stand. I don't know if I want, you know what, I'm not going to open it, but here on the back, it shows you that it turns back upon itself so that they stand up, but I'm not sure how that's going to work because there's 30 pencils facing that direction and 30 pencils facing that direction. So does that mean that you'll flip the stand around? I'm not sure. Now these have names on them, so I'm names and numbers. So one thing I'm really interested in checking is seeing if those match up with the Prismacolor Premieres. But you know what? It looks like they don't, because these numbers are all, these numbers look like they're all 300s. So no, that's not going to do. So I think I'm taking a hiatus from getting new pencils because I've got 3 sets that I have to get to know. So I'm really glad I didn't buy the 96 set of Schwerer Farbens now too, since I have all these new all these new ones. I definitely didn't need the big set. But you know what I like doing is taking 2 72 sets, or you know, now that I've got all these various numbers, a 72 set of one brand and the 60 set of another brand, and then using those together as one larger set. I think you get a really unique spread of colors. So, of course, since I was buying that, I had to get myself a case for them. So I looked for the cheapest pencil case I could find for 72 pencils, and the pencil cases are not cheap. So, not like they are on Amazon.com. They cost quite a bit more money here, so I didn't want to go paying over $20 for one. So I found this one for 12. How the heck? Oh, there we go. It's Velcro. This one was $12.99, I'm thinking, and Okay. Now I wonder. Well, we're going to have to put the tips, slide them in so that you can see the bottoms. Yeah, that makes sense. Opening this way because, well, no, it wouldn't close on the back. Yeah, I think it goes this way. So this is a cute little thing. It holds 72 pencils, and yeah, I think that's all right. Nothing fancy, but it'll hold the Prisma Scholars. Okay, now let's take a look. I got 3 books that came. Yes, I immediately did a buy now when this came out. So now I have them all the intricate mandalas, intricate flowers, and intricate patterns. I love patterns, and oh yes, this is going to be so much fun. Whoa. Yeah, there's a wide variety here. Definitely. Not a lot of repeating patterns, but that's okay because there's lots of mandalas. But a lot that aren't too. And this is, does it say? Oh, it doesn't say. I don't think this one has repeats. What is this? They're giving us a bonus page these days. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this doesn't have duplicates because the other intricates don't. They have 50 patterns in it, and that looks like that's what it is too. So got that. And then I found 2 new Chibi Girl books. Okay, now the titles don't say Chibi on them, but they are. So there's this one, Kawaii Girls Coloring Book. So I haven't looked at this yet. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh, these are adorable. They don't have scenes. It's just the girl with a little background, but that's okay. I mean, oh, well, there's a scene. Not everything has to have a scene. Okay, you know what? Let's look at what the first picture is, because I think this book has duplicates. Okay, so, oh, a mermaid. Did we not just pass her? Okay, so there we go. Okay, so it does have duplicate pictures. So let's start here, and we'll look at the pictures here. Oh yeah, so some of them have a little scene that they're in. Majority of them though are have these backgrounds which you can color or not. You can black them out or do them. Oh, this is absolutely adorable. Oh, I love it. I love it. So this is no author. The back says Cutie's Corner, but I doubt very much whether that's the name. Oh yeah. There's a thank you from them. Coloring Cuties. From the Coloring Cuties team. So yeah, something Cuties is the name of the company. It's got a spine too. And then the other one, Gotcha Life. Chibi Coloring Book by Lunine. And this has, now I've never heard of it before. Now there's 100 pictures in here, and this is a huge book. Even at 100, I'm wondering if there's duplicates in here. Oh no, there's not, because they're numbered. But these pictures all come from an anime. Oh, animes and games. Gotcha Life, Gotcha Club, Gotcha World, Gotcha Verse, Gotcha Studio, and more. And okay, it looks like this is an official book. There's a lot of information in here about them being copyrighted. All the official characters are copyrighted. Lunim. Yeah, this appears to be an official book. Cool. So here we go. We get all of these different chibis, and they're, I guess if you're into the anime or the games, there's a table of contents over here, and then each one is a different character. Ellie, Summoner, Vi, well, she's a vampire. Reed, looks like a warrior. Kitsune Mitsoku, and she's the nine-tailed fox. Oh, this is awesome. This is awesome, and they're all seams. And there's boy chibis in here. Yeah, I'm turning to only boy chibis here. Okay. So there's boy and girl chibis in here. That is awesome. I'm really excited about this one. Okay, I can't wait to do flip-throughs of these for you guys. So those will be coming up on my haul at the end of the month. And that is all that I wanted to show you. So let's get out the coloring and start the picture and see how much I have to say. So this picture was colored by me, and the color scheme was given to me by my husband. I asked him what his favorite team's colors were, and he said green and white. And I said, white doesn't count. Give me a different team. And so he ended up with this team whose main colors are vivid green and blue. And I can't remember what team it is. I think it's Seattle. But that was his third choice. His most favorite football here. Why don't I start coloring so that I'm coloring while I'm talking? It would make sense. Okay, so I've got everything here. And you know what I've been doing, and I don't have it with me for some reason, is I have been clipping. Here, let me do it because I need it. I'm going to try and roll my chair over. Yeah, I put it on the book that I'm working in now. I put this aside so we could finish it together. But what I've been doing is just putting a big paper clip. Like I push this right to the edge, and then I've been putting a paper clip on it, just somewhere where it doesn't interfere with the picture. And that way it keeps it in place, because I've been having a problem with my thing slipping out of where it belongs, and then my alcohol goes through here onto the next page, and then I end up with some alcohol marker here. So yeah, this works for me. So there's an idea for you. If you've got a thickish book, it's a good thing to do. So where was I? Oh yes. And does anybody know what I was talking about? Oh yes. So we're going to talk football, even though, let me tell you right now, I know absolutely nothing about football. I hate all sports, watching or participating. It is not for me. I am more of a girly girl and never had an interest in any kind of, well, I don't understand competition and I don't understand sports where you chase a ball. So, the kind of sport that I will sit and watch is an individual sport, where individuals are competing against each other. Types of things that you see like in the Olympics, like shot put, or the racing, well, any kind of racing actually, because it's one person against other people, and they're always achieving something. And that's the kind of sport I like. I have absolutely no understanding whatsoever for sports where a whole team gets together and plays against another team, and they all have to do something with a ball or a puck, some sort of object that they're hitting or throwing or batting or whatever, and then there's a zillion rules attached to it, and I don't know. It just seems, and I know I'll get flack for saying this, but it just seems something really strange for grown men to be participating in. It's more like a children's activity. So, yeah, save the flack, okay? My husband wants to disown me when when I talk like this. Yeah, so his most favorite team is part of the CFL, which is the Canadian Football League, and that team is the Saskatchewan Roughriders. He grew up in Saskatchewan, and he was in his very late 20s when he moved away from there, I believe. And now, I guess this is part of that, but then it slopes down. I don't know. That doesn't really make much sense there, so. Now, he told me I could color the wall whatever color I wanted, because it would be, the stadium walls would be painted the color of whatever team's stadium they were in. So I'm going to pick a color that's going to be so different on here, and I was thinking red. So that was his first team. What about carmine? Might be a bit vivid. Let's go back down to, well, 3 is rose red. Yeah, it's a little too pink. I don't want number 1. 2. I know that's a darker one as well. I want it over the bright one. Let's look at geranium. I seem to be picking that one a lot lately. Yeah, that seems to be bright and dark. Okay, so we're going to go number 15, geranium, to color the walls. Because they, in this story right here, they are playing against any team that has red as one of their colors. So then, his favorite team in the NHL, not NHL, oh. Yeah, actually my husband, as a Canadian, he prefers football to hockey. I don't know if that's Canadian sacrilege or what, but yeah, he does. Anyways, his favorite team in the NFL, is that right? NFL, yes, National Football League, which I don't know why it's called National Football League when it's US and Canada. That's international football. It should be the IFL, if it was going to make any sense. Okay, then is the Dallas Cowboys. That's his favorite NHL team. And then he picked this team because they had colors. So I don't know if this is his third team or if this is just one of the teams he'll watch. That looks good. That really just sets. Oh, I hope it's not going to look Christmassy. Oh, I'm so bad at doing red and green. Oh well, we'll see. And he had to explain these lines to me as well, so that I could actually color this picture. So I've been going around the pieces of confetti. Alright, so that's enough of football talk. So, what did I do this morning? What was I coloring before this? Oh, I colored a picture from Vivid Publishing, one of, I don't know if I can say his name without looking at it. I believe it's Chintaka Harath. I might have left out a syllable from his first name. I can say it if I'm looking at it. But I kind of think I might have it right, Chintaka Harath. So, I'm just going to do right across red. I don't care if it's not technically right. I colored one of his pictures. It was the very first one that I colored. I don't know which book it was out of because it was out of his freebie sampler number 2, which you can get on Vivid Publishing's website. Just go to the section where it is to show all books or something like that, and the very first book will be Fantasy Collection Book 2. Book 1 is no longer available. And it will say that it's free or $0, one or the other. So then you go and click on it, and you will have to press the button buy. Like when you click on it, it will say that the price is $0.00, but you have to click buy. And then once you've clicked buy, it tells you can download it, or that it'll email you the download. I can't remember. But that's as far as you go in the cart. You don't go anywhere where you have to give information. You don't even have to give your name or email, or, well, maybe you do have to give your email if it emails it to you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they email it to you and ask you if you want to receive their newsletter. So, yeah. So anyways, I colored the picture of the girl who has fox hair. Her hair turns into a fox's tail. So I colored her, and she was really easy to color, and it was really nice. I enjoyed coloring it, and it was very simple. So yeah, I'm looking forward to coloring more of his pictures. I have the rest of the pictures in the sampler, and I think there's I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 8 pictures in there. And I think there's one from each book maybe. So however many books he has out is how many pictures are in there. And of course it has one from Gods and Goddesses, but I have that book. I got it as soon as it came out. But yeah, I think I hauled that last month. So yeah, I'm looking forward to coloring in that, because I'm really into, well, I'm not into it as much as I used to be. I used to be really into mythology, pretty hardcore. I read Gilgamesh, the original, and toyed around with reading Homer. I prefer retellings. because I don't do well with poetry, even if it's epic. Of course, Gilgamesh is a poem too, but I don't know. I made it through that. But yeah, I was into all sorts of stuff, and you know, I read books. I read books that were nonfiction. I read books that were historical fiction. I read books that were just fantasy fiction. As long as they had something to do with some form of mythology. Now my favorite was Greek, followed by Roman, because they have the same gods. They just give them different names, mostly. And then Egyptian, and oh, of course, Viking or Norse, Valhalla, and all that stuff. Really into that. I think those are probably the major ones, but I would read anything. Asian stuff gets a bit confusing because there's so much of it. At least for me. But yeah, I'll just tell you about the stuff that I'm watching and reading right now. Do we need lights on? It's too bad if we do, because they're all on. So right now, I'm reading a book called After the Fall, and it's a little bit different for me than what I usually read. There is a mystery involved in it, but it's so much more than that. The story is about a plane that, stupid ant, a plane crashes. It starts with the plane crash, and this one guy survives, and he was invited to come on. It's a private jet that crashes, and he was invited to go at the last moment. This was all the first chapter. And he almost didn't accept the invitation at the last moment as well. So, you know, it was only by bad luck that he was on it. And it crashes, and he's swimming around in the ocean. And, you know, he used to be a competitive swimmer, and he was very, very good at it. And he currently swims so many laps a day. And, okay, just a minute, I need to get pink. He swims so many laps a day, and so he's a good swimmer, and he starts gauging, you know, how far it is for him to swim back to shore and all that. And he kind of looks around and doesn't see any other survivors, so he's just about to head off when he hears crying. And it's one of the children that was on board. You know, it ends up being the 4-year-old. And so then he swims, I don't know, it's like 20 miles back to shore, saves the boy. The media goes after him because he's a hero, and he doesn't want to be a hero. He just wants the media to leave him alone. And he kind of bonded with the kid. And then it goes through, each section goes through what each passenger was doing before the airplane fell. And it gets up to the point where they're on the plane. And so that's what I'm reading right now, and I'm assuming that they'll all get to the point where they're on the plane, and then we will hear what actually happened on the plane, because the FBI and the whatever the agency in the States is called that looks after airplane crashes, Oh, and on top of that, whoever's in charge of money laundering, all three of those people are after one of the passengers on the plane. So they're all checking to see if the plane was crashed intentionally. So now I'm using a white Posca pen to fill in these lines because they're supposed to be white. And if I was using white paper, I would have just left it, but this is Grayscale, so they're looking kind of gray, so I am going over them. So there's a lot of speculation over how the plane actually crashed. And, you know, 3 different agencies have possible reasons for why, you know, terrorists or somebody who was after this money launderer guy who was about to be arrested, or himself. Did he crash it himself because he was going to be arrested? And then there's even a group who think that our main character, the hero, that he was the one who said it, and that, you know, his last minute entry onto this plane wasn't just by coincidence. So that's the mystery, which is definitely not like anything that I usually read. I mean, you know, throughout my life I've read all kinds of books, but I usually get into a fad of one kind of book, and that can last me a long time. Before I read mysteries, and I've been reading strictly mysteries, I was reading nonfiction. I just could not concentrate on fiction for some reason. I don't remember what point in my life that was, but and I was the same with TV shows. I only watched documentaries or the TV shows that were about true crime, and I just could not watch or read anything fiction. It just, my mind couldn't do it. And before that, I read a lot of young adult fantasy, and I read that for years, and then I just burned out on it. And now it's been years since I've read it, and just the thought of reading it makes me go, oh. So yeah, but all my life I've always gone back to mysteries. It's kind of the one thing. And you know what? I think we're finished. Well, no, I'm going to go over this a second time because this page is awfully thirsty. I think I can get them to look whiter if I just go over them again. So, and what I'm watching, for some reason, I stopped after 2 episodes of this MI6 spy miniseries that I was watching, which was really good. But I watched 2 episodes of it, and then I found myself watching an old noir movie off of a channel that specializes in it on YouTube. Well, this is kind of wet, and I might tear the paper if I go over this. I think we got this pretty white here. So yeah, I've been watching old black and white movies. Not all of them are noir, but I don't really think, you know, I can't really remember the names of them. They're not you know, classic, you know, famous Oscar-winning movies or anything like that, because those would be taken down from YouTube. They wouldn't be able to stay on very long. So the stuff I'm watching is kind of like B-movies or British stuff, or stuff that just, for one reason or other, isn't that popular, but it still may be good. Because I'm looking them up on IMDb, and some of them are getting, you know, 7 or 8 star ratings. So, yeah, they've been good. Been enjoying them. And yeah, so that's kind of where I am with my watching and my reading. Seem to be in a bit of a slowdown with the reading because it's taken me. Well, I started reading this book in June, and I'm over the halfway point, but it's not because it's not exciting. It's just a book that doesn't have a fast tempo, so I find it easy to put down, and I don't need to pick it up. It's just, I put it down and then, I feel like picking it up. So, anyways, before I go, I'd like to know what you have been doing. We've been together for over 45 minutes now. So, what have you been doing while you've been listening to me? Are you doing some chores around the house? Are you doing a craft? Just let me know down in the comments down below. What have you been doing while you've been spending this time with me? And so, for Monday, this is going to be a log off, and I will log in again this week. So, I'll see you in a second. Bye-bye! Logging in today on Friday, and it's about 6:30 in the evening. I've been meaning to do this all day, but it's just one of those things I never got around to. So let's start coloring. I'm in between books right now, so I've chosen 50 Animal Mandalas by Sachin Sachdeva. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. It's how I like to go through. Mandala books. And blotting paper. Hello. I'm not forgetting it. You don't have to scream at me. Oh, alrighty. So we'll start with the horse. So I want some browns. I'll just do some regular colors because, okay, so I've got a few browns here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 2 of the warm grays look like browns. But I think I'm going to go with, probably do them in 2 colors. Let's use potato brown and yellow, or no, maybe I should use burnt sienna. Okay, let's use burnt sienna and, no. I'm going to use yellow ochre and potato brown, so that's 101 and 3. There's 103 and 101. So today I'm using my Smart Art markers. By Smart Color Art. It says both on them. Okay, so potato brown is the darker one. So let's start with his mane. Here. I pretty much do all single-sided pages in marker, unless for some reason they have fine detailed lines. So the other morning when I woke up, I heard a blue jay screeching, and I haven't seen or even heard a blue jay for a very long time. Like, usually we have a lot of blue jays and a lot of cardinals here, and they show up winter and summer. I think they're just you know, an all-round bird. You know what? I don't have my glasses on, so let's roll back here. Grab them, and I will roll back to you. Alright, much better. I can see now. So yeah, there haven't been many around for the last whole year. Like, I don't believe I saw a blue jay last in the winter. And this is the very first time that I heard a blue jay. So I heard this blue jay screeching away, and I can't see any birds out of my window anymore, because since we got the trees cut down, because they were the ones that the birds used to sit in the trees, but the branches were too close to the house now. They were tapping on the windows and just wasn't safe, so it was time. But I used to, just when I woke up in the morning, I would lay in bed for a little while and watch the birds in the tree. And there's a, I don't know what kind of wire it is, telephone wire or something, that stretches across my street from my house to the house across the street, and they'll sit on that as well. So now that the trees here, they don't even come really and sit on the wire. So anyways, I'm hearing this blue jay screeching away, and you know, I poke my head out the windows and I can't see anything. So I'm looking out to the window at the top of the stairs, and all of a sudden a blue jay lands in front of me in the tree right outside the window. So I've got a good view of him, and I really enjoyed that. I like birds. I know I always say I'm not really into animals, and I'm not, but I do like birds, I must say. I appreciate them. So yes, it was a little bit of a joy of happiness in my heart as I saw the blue jay. They are so pretty. They just make such an awful screeching sound. But the one that landed in front of me wasn't the one that was making the racket, because it was still out there making the racket. And so then I walked downstairs and making my coffee, and I go and I look out the window at the back of the house. We have lots of trees in the backyard, and the blue jay had moved over there. So I watched him for a little bit, and then how are we doing? I think we're doing good. Then the blue jay the sound was coming closer and closer, so or it was getting louder and louder, let's say. So I poked my head out the side window, which is like directly across from where I'm making my coffee, and I don't see the blue jay, even though I can hear it screeching pretty close nearby. But what I do see is a cardinal. It was just sitting there in the tree. So that was a surprise to see all that red. I should be using the other end for this. Sheesh. That was a surprise to see the red colors of the bird, because those are really the only two birds like here in my neighborhood that are colorful, and I like colorful birds. Another bird that I like to see, it's not exactly colorful, but it does have some color on it, is we get morning birds around here occasionally too. So they're nice. And of course we get tons of pigeons and tons of seagulls flying ahead. They don't land in the trees though. Not that much. I don't know what the birds are that are around here all the time. They're just kind of like those little tiny birds that are everywhere. I don't know whether they're wrens or nuthatches or what they're called, sparrows. They're just the little tiny, short, kind of fat little things. So they're boring, and they're just brown. So yeah, it's quite a nice surprise to see a colorful bird around here. If we drive out into the country, I've seen red-winged blackbirds. And that's all I can think of at the moment. I'm sure I've seen others at some point. Okay, so what am I going to do? Okay, so I don't think I'm going to do that part. Okay, so let's start here. Darn, I didn't bring my pillows, but oh good. I thought I'd taken the blender out of here, but I didn't. So let's get rid of this. Don't want to go into that area, so I'm using my blender for erasing. And that looks like it did a really good job. So we'll do the sides here, and then I'll bring out the potato brown again. This is yellow ochre that I'm using, yeah. So, a few days ago, I don't know, I was just kind of like, I don't listen to music very often. Like, I don't ever put the radio on. The only time I listen to the radio is when I'm in the car with my husband. And, yeah. So, not much at all. And when I do want to listen to music, I have Spotify. That's so I can put it on my Google Home and just have it play whenever a song comes into my head. I'll get it to play a few times. That helps me get it out. But I don't know, I was just in some kind of mood the other day, and I found a playlist that had 50 plus Depeche Mode videos, and Depeche Mode is my all-time favorite band. I grew up with them. I was there in 1980 when their first album came out. And I forget what song it was that was a hit on that first one. It's not Just Can't Get Enough. That's something like that. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, I was 12 in 1980, so I'm an 80s teenager. The whole entire years of, oh yeah, so I want to do a snout this color. Okay, so I know what I'll do. I grew up through the 80s, and I'm definitely stuck back into the time. There's nothing better to me than the 80s music. So I got into the mood to listen to Depeche Mode, and I must have listened to it and watched the videos like for 6 hours. I had it on. I was coloring, and then a new one would come on that I'd have to watch because, you know, there was all the official videos, which I remember from watching on Much Music as a kid. And then, you know, I don't know their newest stuff, but I was getting introduced to it that day, and I was liking it. It's not as good as their old stuff, but they do still play some synth music, and that's kind of like, you know, what they're known for, because when they first started, there was 4 of them at the very beginning, and then it became the 3. But either 3 or 2 of them would just stand at the back with the synthesizer keyboards, and David Gahan would sing, and that's just what it would be. 3 guys with keyboards. That was the band. My dad used to make fun of them for not having a real instrument among them. But it showed them, some of the videos were live recordings of them, and they are good live. And Dave Gahan is still a good singer to this day. You know, he's 1 year younger than my husband, so that makes him 58. And well, I guess I should have said he's 1 year younger than Mr. Niagara. I have to remember that he's got a channel name now. So, man, I just love that music. Why did I do this? I don't know. I'm having a hard time concentrating, coloring, and talking tonight. Okay, let's just go on. Ooh, this one is bleeding pretty badly. Yikes. Okay, I'm just going to try and go around that a bit. This might not erase totally because it's dark, but I've got to it while it's still wet, so yeah, it's coming out. Not going to bother about that part on there. I'm not creating a masterpiece, I'm doing a mandala. I'm just going to take a sip here. I think I'll just use the light color for his ears. There's no sense, no need to get all fancy with this horse. I won't do all the animals the normal color. The ones that look cute, doing them pink and blue and yellow and stuff, I will. But I don't really think of a horse as cute. They scare me, actually, with their great big teeth and, yeah, just like how powerful they are. Definitely wouldn't catch me horseback riding. Okay, so now it looks like these could be any kind of flower. I'm not going to make them daisies, or else that would be boring. Let's use some what color flowers should we go with? Nice and bright? Yeah, let's do a bright page. Okay, so I'm going to go with 11, which is carmine. Okay, so let's see. We've got these flowers. I guess these are ones that haven't opened up yet. There's this. Oh, that's there and there, but I think those are leaves. It looks like we only have one type of flower here. Unless I want to do these buds a different color. These daisies don't seem to have any. No, they're... Okay. You know what? Okay, stop. I'm going to get a yellow so I can do the centers. There we go. So, you know I've been complaining about not being able to find Diet Dr. Pepper. Well, now my husband can't find root beer, diet root beer, anywhere. So, I've been complaining on here for a few weeks that we can't find the Dr. Pepper. And somebody told me that all the factories were having soda can shortages. So, I guess that would mean that the shortage would come over here to Canada as well. So our pop cans must be in a shortage as well. And the companies are probably just making their most popular drinks. That's why there's like so much regular Coke and Pepsi. Yeah, because my husband said that he couldn't find the one that he likes to drink besides root beer is caffeine-free Coke Zero. So, or is it caffeine-free Pepsi Zero? One of those, anyways. It's a diet Coke that's caffeine-free. I don't even know why they call it, why they have a Coke Zero and a Coke and a diet. I mean, they're the same thing. I don't know. Is it just that some people think it's better because it doesn't have the word diet in it? I don't know. So, if that's the problem, it might be a while before I get to have some. Oh, excuse me. I have been having really bad digestion problems yesterday, and today not so bad, but still pretty much there. I remember I told you that I had major digestion issues, and the other day, it was a Wednesday night. Oh, these are kind of hard to tell where the leaves are. What's a leaf and what's a... I think that... No, I think that's part of the flower. Well, it was on Wednesday night, and the night before we had to do groceries, before we did groceries in the morning, so, or that my husband did the groceries, or that Mr. Niagara, oh my goodness, I can't even get my story straight here. Dear. So, there was nothing to eat, and I was really hungry. So I ended up having a cheese sandwich, which I knew I shouldn't have because I can only really eat liquid or kind of like pudding type food. So I ate the stupid cheese sandwich, and it was good while it lasted, but pretty much 5 minutes after I was finished it, my stomach started to gurgle, and I was just off like a speeding bullet to the bathroom. And once that was all over, I was just left with my stomach. It makes all these sounds. You know, sometimes it sounds like it's talking, and it just gurgles and everything, like without stopping. So that was me Thursday, and today I'm a little bit better, but I feel delicate. I feel like if I that I definitely can't handle anything that's not very, very gentle on my stomach. So I haven't really had much to eat today. I had a smoothie, protein smoothie, or shake, or whatever you want to call them, you know, with all sorts of blended up goodies in it. And then my treat was a frozen yogurt, because I'm good with dairies. And yeah, so it was the bread and the sandwich that got me. I can't really eat. Well, I can't eat like basically all your normal carbs. Alright, now this looks like it has... This is really difficult to tell if these are... Okay. Those three there are leaves, but what's this sticking out there? I'm pretty positive that is a leaf. I mean a petal. It's just one that's folded backwards. Yes, like this one. Here we go. That's what that one looked like. So yeah, I wasn't in the mood to record then. But I hope that the pop comes back, because I'm getting really sick and tired of drinking Coke Zero. It's just, I like something with a flavor in it, you know? I mean, we don't get all the fancy flavors that are available in the States. There's just not. I mean, everything in the States has, you know, a dozen different flavors to choose from, but here we usually just get one. There's just not the population to support financially, you know, making all the different flavors. But it's a shame, because I like flavored Coke a lot. Usually it comes out in summer, but not this year. Not with the shortage. So anyways, the house across the street sold. I noticed that yesterday morning when I got up. I think I told you guys when it went up for sale, and that was about 3 weeks ago, I think. It can't have been more than 3 weeks at the most. So it sold pretty quick. All summer they've been doing stuff on it. And they had the roof done, and they had people inside the house working, and they had I think they had all their trees taken down, and there have been so many people that have bought that house, and each time they put it up for sale, there are workers there working on the house. And when we first moved in here, it was a nice little couple that lived there. Well, I called them little because they were young, and they had a brand new baby, and they were very, you know, we don't like, you know, nobody here talks to their neighbors or anything, but you know, we'd nod or wave or whatever when we saw each other outside to them, and we'd always see them with the baby, and we watched them grow up. And you know, he was probably about 8 when they moved, and ever since then, there just like has not been anybody stayed there for like longer than a year. And then the house is up for sale. Well, it's empty. The people will move out, and then it's just empty. And then you'll start seeing the contractors coming in and going into the house and doing goodness knows what. And that goes on for months. And then, eventually, you see the for sale sign up. Somebody comes and buys it, and then the same thing happens. So I don't know. There must be something wrong with the house that makes that many people go in and out of it. Who knows? So I'm just wondering if I should do these all red. No, I did those two red. Maybe if I do this one red. Okay, that's what I'll do. Okay, so, well, let's start over here where I know what's petals. I don't have a whole bunch of things to say today, so it's just going to be kind of quiet, watching me color. Ooh, I do have an interesting little update. You remember a while back I told you that I had ordered the Kohinoor 144 set of pencils, and I bought it off of eBay, and you know, they were a good price and everything, and had them shipped from, I don't know, Czechoslovakia or somewhere like that, by UPS. And I watched the tracking, and it got closer and closer, and then they told me that it was going to be delivered on such and such a day. And then that day came and they didn't come. And then they told me that there'd been a delay and that they would come. You know, they gave me the next date when they were coming. And then they didn't arrive. And they said that I don't know what they said. I said there was a problem. And I don't know if they said for me to call or what. But anyways, it wasn't moving, the tracking. It was just sitting at some place, and then some message came up, and eventually, like that was it. That was all it did. And it took me a while of contacting, well, I was emailing the company in actually I think they were in Poland. I was emailing them, and they were telling me that they would do a search tomorrow, and I'd wait a little while, and I ended up calling UPS myself and had to talk to a bunch of people. And, you know, they told me that a search had been started on my pencils. And so, you know, I waited for that, and then I'd end up calling them again. And they said that no, there was no search on my order, so they would start one now. And then anyways, that happened 3 times. And the third time the lady says, well, there is no order started, but I will start one right now. And I said no. I said no. You people have said that to me. This will be the 3rd time. Or actually, I was going, I said, you are now saying this to me for the 4th time that you will put a search on here, and you don't. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to do something, take care of it while I'm here on the phone with you, and let's, you know, whatever. So she finally did get a search put on it. I got an email telling me my case file number and all this jazz, and I actually got the number to call depot or whatever in the city next to me, St. Catharines. So I called her, and she looked me up, and she said that, you know, everything that the lady I had talked to before, she had done, that this search or whatever was on my order. And so I said, okay, good. And then she goes, but she says, I can almost guarantee you that your parcel is not lost, because it says here the last time your parcel was tracked, it was in Toronto. And she says, so what is probably the situation is that it is stuck in Toronto. She said right now UPS has over 2 million parcels just waiting at the Toronto depot. She said the company cannot handle this volume at all, and more stuff is coming in every day, and the backlog is just horrendous. I mean, I couldn't believe it. 2 million, you know. Thought maybe she was exaggerating or something like that. But I said okay, and you know, it's kind of positive to know that your order's not lost, that it's like just stuck somewhere. But it must have only been 2 days later than that I read in the paper that UPS had a 2 million plus backlog of parcels that were just sitting at the Toronto depot. So I I knew she'd been telling me the truth then at that point. So now I contacted the seller again, and he said, okay, I will start I don't know what he called it, a complaint, I think he said, tomorrow. And that's what he told me last time. So, you know, we're doing this all through eBay's thing. So, you know, I felt say, oh, I colored 4 of them red. I was just going to do 3. Oh well. The other 2. Yeah, I'll do them orange. Yeah, let's go with the vermilion. Where's that? Oh, I have vermilion and French vermilion. Vermilion's kind of a light red. And French vermilion is orange. Let's go with orange. Okay, so that is 22. 22. Here we go. So I waited 2 weeks. Nothing was happening. So I emailed them again, and they said, oh, we will start a complaint today. And I went, all right, enough of this nonsense. And I went through the eBay program there, reporting that I had a problem with the seller. So we went through their thing, and then eBay told me that the ticket, or whatever the heck they call it, was a stop had been put on it for 14 days to give the seller time to do whatever it is they said they would do to them. So that happened, and you know what? This was July by this time. Yes, because I remember them saying that it was until July something, and that was close to my birthday. And so, and this had been going on since before COVID. So, you know, waited the 14 days or whatever, and before the 14 days was up, I got a full refund from the seller. for the pencils. So, story over, right? You know, so just left things there. I hope I haven't told you all this before. If I have, then I'm sorry, but here's where the new stuff comes. I get a phone call, and first I couldn't understand, like, who they were, like, what they were from, but finally I caught the grasp of what she was talking about, and she was from a UPS warehouse, and she wanted to know if my order, you know, and she gave the number and the whatever and the sender, and I'm like, and then I remembered the pencils, right? And I said, oh, is that from Poland? And she says, yes, yes. And I said, no, they didn't. They never showed up at all. There's nothing. And she goes, oh, okay. So yeah, just wanted to know that because we're searching for them now, and we'll be checking. So the last time I talked to UPS was like back in, I don't know, May maybe? No, June, I don't know, somewhere up there, because this all started, like, I think in February, if I'm thinking right. That's how long each one of these little, you know, and I patiently waited in between, but, you know. So, yeah. So after that phone call, I was kind of like, well, it took them long enough, but at least they're, like, actually at work on it now. And my husband says, oh, I wouldn't get my hope up about that. And, well, oh, I mean, Mr. Niagara. Oh, I'm going to have to get used to calling him that. Mr. Niagara says, well, I wouldn't get your hope up on that. But he's a pessimist. So I said, well, I'm happy to know that they are looking for them, even though it took them forever to actually get to my case. But it's good news that they're looking for them. Now, I don't know what will happen if they find them. Will they deliver them to me? Because, I mean, I'm not under any obligation to repay for them again. The transaction with the seller is over. So I don't know what will happen if they find them. Will they send them back to the seller because of the refund? Or will they send them to me because it was addressed to me? But either way, I'm either going to get those pencils eventually, and I had really wanted them. I had the money at the time to pay for them, and, you know, I don't now, because when I got the refund, that money had to be spent on something else. So I'm either going to get my pencils for free, or I'm not. I'm not going to get them at all. Which is where I was. I thought case closed, you know, when I got my refund. No pencils, here's your money back, end of story. So it was interesting, to say the least, to have them call like that out of the blue. Oh boy, my leg is hurting. I have a little footstool under here that I can put my foot up on to help relieve that a little bit. Yeah, so I had to, yesterday I had to cancel my pain clinic appointment because my husband had so much stuff going on that day, and son had an appointment with his psychiatrist, and there was just, he had a whole bunch of things to do, and Andy started work at 5. So I canceled my appointment and said, you know, relax, don't get all worked up about everything you have to accomplish today. So, you know, that's one thing less. Gives them a couple of hours, you know, taking me to the city and waiting, which isn't long, because I'm basically in and out of there, especially now, because they only let a certain amount of patients come in at the same time. But it just eased his load a little bit, and I've been pretty good the last couple of weeks, but I am a little worried about going a month, which is what it's going to be now from the last time I went to the next time I went, but I won't say anything about that to him. Okay, so she's looking good. Now I got these buds here, and I think I'm going to do them yellow. Yeah, except I'm going to get a more yellow. That one's kind of like the orangey yellow. Okay, so I want 35. It's just called yellow. So let's do the buds. Now I have to think, am I going to do the whole thing the bud? Or will these be leaves underneath? I'm going to do the whole thing yellow. That'll look nice. So somebody asked me if I would consider doing a color along on a Chibi Girl picture. And I've never done a color along before. She means in the sense where we color the picture together. That I will color it and, you know, call out the number of the marker that I'm using, so that you guys can color it along at the same time with me. So I'm thinking about doing that, something different, and you know, I am working in my Chibi Girls book to try and finish that. I haven't counted how many pages I have left. I'm afraid to. I'm afraid it's going to end up being some astronomical number and that I'm nowhere near finished. But when I flip through, I feel good at how many finished pictures I see. There is one block of pictures that I need to start working on. So I think if I do any buddy colors next month from it, which I think I will, because already got set up with somebody that will do a Chibi Girl again. And if I do one as a color along on here, that would get another one. So I got 5 this month. I did 5 of them, and they were all color alongs too. But back to what I was saying, doing the color along. How long have we been? Oh, a lot more than I thought it was. I'm thinking about that. Like, I think it would be fun. Pretty much everybody out there has the Chibi Girl book. You know, let's say we're going to do it, and I'll wait a couple of weeks until I start it. That'll give you a chance to buy the book if you don't have it. And you don't have to have the Grayscale version either. You can have the line art. It's the exact same picture. So it's not going to make any difference in us coloring it. It's just going to look different. So I don't know which book I'll be taking it out of, the 1 or 2. that will just have to be a spur of the moment decision, because if I'm going to do a color along, I want to do one that's simple. But then I don't want to do one that's too simple, because then I'm not going to be showing you any, I think it'd be more beneficial for you guys to watch a color along if I'm going to do something a little, I got them all, a little tricky. Well, not tricky, but you know what I mean, don't you? Just, maybe that I will use some techniques you haven't seen, or that, show you how to do something, rather than it just being, a really simple picture. So if we do that, then I'll probably, every time I sit down during that vlog, I'll probably be working on it, I suppose. Or I could do some one week in one vlog, and then some, well, let's go half, and then the other half in the next week. So that's something I have to think about. So you guys, if you've got any opinion on the color along, whether to do it all in one vlog or to split it up into two, if you've got an opinion on that, let me know in the comments below. And as far as, just let me get out of green. I don't want one that's too dark. Let's start with yellow green, 48. Where is it? I don't have a green out. I'm not finding 48. Did I say the number right? Yes, 48 is yellow green. Okay, why am I not finding it? Well, maybe it looks like a yellow. There it is. Yeah. The top of it is more yellowish than greenish. That's why I couldn't find it. I was looking at all the green ones. Okay, so this is symmetrical. So whatever I do on this side, I do on that side. So I think we'll do all the leaves that are attached to, actually, let's do these little leaf plants here. So as to the challenges, I didn't get very many responses, so I take that most of you don't really have an opinion either way. I did get some answers, and everybody who did give their opinion was in favor of it. So nobody said that no, they would not like me to do that. So I'm going to take it as a yes, and because it's something I'd like to do. I mean, so what if I'm the only person who does it? But if some of you want to join in, I'll give you a hashtag, and then we'll do it. And it'll just be a challenge to use certain colors or to use certain tools, or, there won't be a lot of rules. So I'll set that up for doing one for August. And I think it'll be fun. I really like doing challenges because it expands your knowledge. Like, it makes you do things that you wouldn't do normally, and maybe at first it feels kind of like, well, I don't want to do that, but if you set about doing it, you are out of your comfort zone, and you learn something. Like, if you're doing a monochromatic page where you can only use shades of green, then it starts making you think in values, color values, since you're not making color choices. You're deciding where the dark green goes, where the medium green goes, where the medium dark, where the, the light, and and all that sort of thing. So it's good exercises. So I'm just going to finish up doing these green ones, and then we'll call that it, because I do have another video to add on to this, and I have no idea how long that is, and I've totally forgotten what I recorded, because I did it back on Monday, and today is Friday, so nobody can expect me to remember that far back. Sure, I remember what happened when I'm 16, but ask me what I had for breakfast yesterday, and, well, okay, I can answer that because I have a smoothie every day for breakfast, so I know that. But ask me what I did. Oh, I know another thing that was really nice. I didn't talk, but I had a messenger conversation with my cousin in England, and we keep in touch. It was 2 years ago she came out here and did a trip out here in Ontario, and came and stayed with us for I think it was 3 or 4 days, and then my cousin's husband went back, and she stayed an extra, oh goodness, I can't even remember. She stayed an extra week maybe, so that the two of us could visit. You know, when her husband was here, we did sightseeing, touristy stuff. Then the week that she spent with us was more her and me getting to know each other again type of thing. So we've kept in touch since then, kind of like sporadically. We'll keep in touch, and then, you know, all of a sudden it dries up, and then, you know, we don't talk for like 8 months or so. But yeah, she contacted me, and we had a nice chat. And well, she's in England, which is where all my family lives, because as I think I told you in that get to know me tag, that I've lived in Canada ever since I was a toddler, but I am a British citizen because I was born there. My parents emigrated when I was a toddler. So yeah, she lives in England. I forget what the county or whatever is called where she lives, but she's in Southport. I think she actually lives in Southport, or very near it. For some reason I think it is that she actually does live there, which is kind of cool when we both live in a tourist town. Or she lives near it. I don't want to say she lives in it when she doesn't, if she watches this video. But I don't think she watches my videos, because I'm sure she would comment if she did. Or have told me when we were conversating. So yeah. So a shout out to anybody watching this who is from Southport and area. And I have mentioned everything on my little list that I made notes of, and I did a couple of rabbit trails there. So I hope it wasn't too boring today. I didn't have a lot to say. I wish something would happen to me, or I would see something interesting happen to somebody else. Oh dear. It's tough when you have nothing to say. But anyways, I'm feeling pretty good these days. So, you know, just the normal aches and pains and things that I deal with normally, but nothing is over you know, hurting more than usual. So don't worry about me. I'm doing pretty good these days, and I hope that you're having some good health days as well. And I'm gonna sign off. So I want y'all to take care and to stay safe, especially to my watchers down in the States. Keep yourselves safe. And I'm thinking of you. So I will see you all next time. Bye-bye. Love ya.